Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for the past few days I've been getting few comments that I should make a video about how to write a literature review or how one can do a literature review if someone is writing a dissertation or if someone is writing a research paper. So I thought that I'll give it a try and I'll make a video out of it. So let's start. I'll be briefing on few points that one should remember while writing a literature review or how to approach towards writing a literature review. So let's start. So before going deep into the topic, let's discuss first what is a literature review. So literature review, if you talk about the exact definition of literature review, then you can say that literature review is a survey of scholarly resources on a specific topic. Basically it means that what all if you talk about a particular topic, then what all researches have been done till date on that particular topic. Like suppose I talk about that vaccine development in HIV case, then it will include that all the research that is related to the vaccine development or medicine development for the HIV treatment till date. What are the various methods, what are the various molecules which has been tested, what all are the teams which have been involved, what are the various mechanisms which these vaccines have been targeting to kill the HIV disease. So this will get involved in all the literature review. So if we talk about in detail, it will provide an overview of current knowledge, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods and gaps in the existing research. And one important point or one important reason why one individual is doing a literature review is to find out the gaps in the existing research. See, there is nothing 100% in this world which is existing. Even if we have a disease or even if we have a medicine for a particular disease, then it doesn't mean that that medicine cannot be further improved. So there is always a possibility of an improvement in everything. So there will be always some gaps in the research which has already been done and what is the future lies ahead for that particular molecule or for that particular topic. So there will always be gaps. So that gaps can only be identified by doing the literature review, that what all has been done till date and what further what is a further possibility that can be done in this particular area. So the gap between these two is known as the gaps in the research. So let's move further. Now I have broken down the complete process of writing a literature review into 5 simple steps. Let's go these steps one by one. First is the search for a relevant literature, because you will always start, if you have to write a literature review, then you will always start by searching for relevant literature concerning to your topic of research. Second one is evaluate resources or evaluate sources. It means that whatever data you have been gathering or whatever the searches you are doing, you will be getting a huge amount of data, and research publications and dissertations and PhD thesis, what not is there on the internet. So you have to evaluate those resources, that you are getting the authentic data. Like some publications are there, if you talk about biological field or in the biological sciences field, then you can trust the resources or you can trust the data which is published in some SCI indexed papers. Rest of the data, I'm not sure if that is correct. It may be correct, it may not be correct, but whatever the data which is given in an SCI index journal is 100% accurate. Now what are the third step is identify themes, debates and gaps. Now in the third step you have to identify the research or the gaps area in your research, in the topic of your area research. And moving further is the outline of the structure. Now after you have done the searches, you have done the evaluation of the sources, now you have already identified the gaps in your research. Then now you have to outline the research, that structure of your literature of review, that how you going to write it, or what are the points which you will put first, what are the points which you will put in the middle, and what are the points which you will put at the end of the literature review. The last is the write your literature review. After all this done, you are at the stage where you can write your literature review. So let's discuss these points further in detail. And before going further, there is a small definition, or what we can achieve from a literature review is a good literature review doesn't summarize sources. What it does is it analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give a clear picture of the state of knowledge on the subject. So the purpose of literature review is to analyze and synthesize and then critically evaluate what all the research has been done till date on that particular topic. Now the first step would be the search for relevant literature. So before beginning or to search for relevant literature, you must have a clearly defined topic in your mind. What is the topic that you have to search, or in which area you want to search? Like suppose if someone is working in biological sciences, some may be working in the clinical trials phases, or some may be working in the vaccine development, some may be working in the bioinformatics field. So you have a clear understanding, you must have a clear understanding of a topic on which you want to do your literature review. Next is, if you are writing the literature review section of a dissertation or research paper, you will search for literature related to your research problem and questions. This is just I told. Now, while doing this thing, the next step would be make a list of keywords. Now, what does keyword do? The keyword is basically helps you in identifying the concerned papers or concerned PhD thesis which you can refer for your literature review. Keywords basically means like you do a normal Google search or a normal YouTube search. You don't type the whole sentence that what I have to do. You just type in the keywords, and based on those keywords, the Google algorithm presents you the most relevant data which is present on the internet. So same wise you have to do while you are searching for your literature review, or while you are searching for the topic on which you have to do your literature review. So start by creating a list of keywords related to your research questions. Include each of the key concept or variable you are interested in, and list any synonyms and related terms. So you also have to include the synonyms. Like suppose you are working with HIV, then you have to include a keyword HIV, and you have to include so that you can broaden your research the human immunodeficiency syndrome or AIDS, various synonyms for the HIV you have to include in your search keywords. You can add to this list if you discover new keywords in the process of your literature search. You can further add the keywords if you encounter in the normal process of searching. Like suppose in example, the role of mitochondria in aerobic respiration. If you have to do a literature review on this topic, then the keywords which I will say are important in this topic is mitochondria, then respiration, then aerobic respiration. So you have to, these are the keywords which you have to put in the Google platform or any other search engine. I will talk about those search engines which you will be using while doing your literature review. So the synonym of mitochondria is powerhouse of the cell. So you have to include the synonym also. So in total you have 4 keywords in this sentence. So likewise you have to decide based upon your topic which you are discussing or which you are doing, that what are the keywords which are involved in this topic. Now search for relevant sources. Now if you have search, you use keywords to begin searching for sources. Some useful databases to search for journals and articles include. So normally if you're talking about the science field, then the most important or the most searched engine or most commonly used platform which we are using for searching the literature review on a particular topic is Google Scholar, and followed by PubMed. So these are basically the two scientific. Google Scholar is a subsidiary of Google. PubMed is a search engine which is given by NCBI. So these are the two mainly used. So some others are Project News, and Medline, EconLight, Inspect. So these are depending upon the field in which you want to search. Like Project News is for humanities and social science. Economics, you have EconLight. For physics, engineering, and computer sec, you have Inspect. Now you can also include some other Boolean functions while searching for your literature review. Like you can use and, you can use or, and you can use not. What is the function of and? You have, if you are putting and between two keywords, then you are telling the search engine that I want both these keywords in the search result. If you are putting an or, then you are telling the search engine that either one word or the other word, either of the word, if it is present in on the internet and a particular research publication, then present that publication to me. If you are including not, then you are excluding some results that these results I don't want to show up, or I don't want to look at them. Now, moving further, you have to read the abstract to find out whether an article is relevant to your question. When you find a useful book or article, you can check the bibliography to find other relevant sources. This is another method how you can do search. Suppose you have done a Google Scholar search and you've been presented with thousands of results of publications. Now you have to read the abstract so that you can check if that particular paper is relevant to my research or not. You also have to identify the most important publication on your topic. Take notes of recurring citations. Some of the citations, some of the research publications have been cited a number of times. That means that research is groundbreaking or has turned upside down the science, but that particular field in that particular era. So you have, if you are doing in your particular topic, if you find some publications which are cited more than usual than the normal papers or normal publication, then you have to include those papers in your literature review. Now, step 2 is evaluate and select sources. So you probably won't be able to read absolutely everything that has been written on the topic. You will have to evaluate which sources are most relevant to your question. So for each publication, you have to ask few questions to check if that publication is, or that particular data is relevant to me or not. So what question or problem is the author addressing? The next question is, what are the key concepts and how are they defined? Another one is, what are the key theories, models and methods? What are the results and the conclusion of the study? How does the publication relate it to other literature in the field? Does it confirm, add to or challenges established knowledge? How does the publication contribute to your understanding of the topic? What are its key insights and arguments? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the research? Now make sure the sources you use are credible, and make sure you read any landmark studies and major theories in your field of research. So basically, just before I told you that you have to keep an eye on the research publication which has been cited more than usual, or some breakthrough research which has been done from a particular scientist that has changed the course of that field completely. Now, what else you can do? You can find out how many times an article has been cited on Google Scholar. On Google Scholar, while you're searching for an article, once you get the result on the screen, then you got an option in the Google Scholar to check the citation number of that particular publication. So you need to check the publication citation. If that citation has been more than usual, then you have to include that research publication, or you have to look at that publication so that you can understand what all has been done till date in that particular area. Now moving further to the third step. What is the third step? It is identify themes, debate and gaps. Basically, you have to identify the gaps in the research which has been till date been done, and what are the future perspective for that area. So to begin organizing your literature review, argument and structure, you need to understand the connections and relationship between the sources you have read. Based on your reading and notes, you can look for. So you have to, till that you have, suppose you have read some 50 or 60 research publication till date on a particular topic. So you must be able to connect these publications like in a chronological order, or maybe in a thematic order, or in any other relationship which you can conclude from that, so that you can conclude that after reading 50 publication that this has happened at this timeline, because of there is some gaps in this, or some results are not present at this time. So further research has been conducted, then we have got this result, or we have reached this situation, but then again some of the parameters has been not measured, so we are moving towards other, in this publication this has been done, in this publication further improvements have been done. So you have to connect the dots of the literature, whatever you are reading at that particular time in your particular area. So you have to look for trends and patterns and theory, methods or results. Do certain approaches become more or less popular over time? You have to check this. What else you have to check? You have to check themes. What questions or concepts recur across the literature? You have to check for debates, conflicts and contradiction. Where do sources disagree? What are the pivotal publications? Are there any influential theories or studies that change the direction of the field? So, and last is gaps. What is missing from the literature? Are there any weaknesses that need to be addressed? So in the third step, you are basically identifying, or you are basically arranging what has been till date been done in that particular area in a particular order. So it is easy for you to understand what all needs to be done in the future work. Now moving further to the fourth step. What is the fourth step? Is outline your literature review structure. There are various approaches to organize the body of a literature review. You should have a rough idea of your strategy before you start writing. Now you have done all the hard work. You have collected the data, you have checked the sources, you have arranged the data in a particular fashion. Now you have to outline or create a broad outline that how you're going to write your, or how you're going to structure your literature review. So there are various approaches which you can use. One is a chronological approach. It means that basically you have to trace the development of the topic over time, that at this particular time this has been done, at this time this has been done, and so on and so forth. Another one is thematic. So you can focus your literature review structure towards the theme of a particular research, that in this era this theme has been popular, and in this era this theme has been popular. So if you have found some recurring central themes, you can organize a literature review into subsections that address different aspects of the topic. Now, another one is methodological. It means if you draw your sources from different disciplines or fields that use a variety of research methods, you might want to compare the results and conclusions that emerge from different approaches. Another approach which you can use is theoretical. It means a literature review is often the foundation for a theoretical framework. You can use it to discuss various theories, models, and definitions of key concepts. Now everything has been done. You have collected the data, you have checked the sources, you have arranged the data. Now actually you have to write the literature review, or you have to start writing the literature review. So what you can do, what is the format for writing a particular literature review? So let's begin in this step. So like any other academic test, your literature review should have an introduction, a main body, and a conclusion. What you include in each depends on the objective of your literature review. So in introduction, as in any thesis, you have to introduce an introduction. So while writing a literature review, you also have to introduce also have to write an introduction. So basically, what does introduction basically will do in your literature review? It will just give a brief introduction or brief review that this all has been done, or we are talking about this topic in this particular area. So the introduction should clearly establish the focus and the purpose of the literature review. If you're writing the literature review as a part of your dissertation or thesis, reiterate your central problem or research questions and give a brief summary of the scholarly context. Now the second part is the central body, in which you have to actually cite the articles that this particular thing has been done by this team, or this scientist has been involved in this particular research. So this all has been will contribute towards the central body of your literature review. Now the last part is your conclusion. In the conclusion, you will summarize the key findings you have taken from the literature and emphasize their significance. So this marks the end of your literature review, that how you can write the literature review. I hope I have made everything clear. Even if you have more questions, then you are free to drop a comment in the comment box. I hope to see you in the near future. But just before I end this video, I have a small request for all of my subscribers, all of my viewers. If you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you are already a subscriber, then please like, share this video and comment on the video, so that this video can reach the maximum population. So because most of the people, or most of the graduates or undergraduates, they have no idea how to approach towards writing a literature review. So I hope this video will help all those people. So goodbye for now. Thank you.